Well, hello and welcome people in here back to some more Holocure Save the Fans. Since the last episode, I've done a little bit of grinding, done a little bit of gold grinding with Iris, so I've unlocked both fandoms and fan letters. Now, if you're unfamiliar with these, fandoms are going to be pretty big bonuses for us. So right now I'm at the first tier, which is we're a fan level. And then, of course, in order to actually unlock these, you either need to clear a stage or reach 30 minutes in endless, either normal or hard, and then you get bonus for each new clear. I've been doing normal endless runs with Iris, mostly just for gold. And then, of course, you have G ranks up, which you get through getting duplicates through gacha. But there is a maximum on that, so you can't just like max it out with that. From what I understand, in order to get the second level, you have to complete, I think it's all the normal levels with the character, and then in order to get to the third level, you have to do all the hard levels. So basically you have to complete all the levels with each character in order to get them maxed out. I think that's how much it takes. But yeah, I've been playing a lot with Iris, and then fan letters are basically pretty small stat increases that we can get from different fandom drops. So I think I only have 2 at this point. There's a lot. I just haven't had, I've played like 3 or 4 levels with this unlocked and still only gotten 2. So hopefully we can get 1 or 2 today, although that might be a pretty heavy ask. Other than that, as far as meta progression goes, I've been putting a lot into money gain to try and get some more gold. I'm kind of short right now because I just spent a bunch. I've been putting more into health and damage and speed mostly. Got a bit of crit up, mostly because, again, I was playing with Iris, and so I wanted more crit rate. But crit rate is going to help us regardless anyway. Some experience, and then I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, I had already, let's see. Yeah, I think everything else I had already unlocked. So yeah, let's do our character gacha. We're going to go ahead and do Counsel and Promise today because, as you can probably tell by the thumbnail, we're playing one of your guys' favorite characters, it seems. We're going to be playing Fauna today. A lot of you guys were saying Fauna was one of your favorite Vtubers, and unfortunately, she did just graduate, so there will be none left for her, no new content coming in the future, but maybe we can bring some joy to your day. So let's go ahead and do 3 polls here and see what we can get out of here. Hopefully we can get at least 1 Fauna to get a little bit more power up. No, we do get an Iris, but that's okay. That'll help me out for later. All right, what else do we get here? Number 2, we get we get a Mume. Mume? I think that's how you say it. And we get the owl. I know she's an owl. That's kind of the running joke here. Everybody's a cat. Anyway, we have Bay the rat. All right, well, no Fauna today, but that's okay. Hey, we're just rhyming up in here. All right, so let's take Fauna. The other thing that you guys have been talking and really being vocal about. So we're gonna go with this today, and I've been practicing with Iris to see how it feels. So this game is very different when it comes to, and we're gonna go into. Do I think I can go here in let's go into Halloween Castle because I think she might be a little bit difficult player to play. Or V2 to play. We're going to go in with quick dash over the heal because I really haven't been doing that. One of the things that you guys have been talking about is the fact that, and I actually don't have to aim with this character, which is going to be so nice, is the fact that this is a pretty different bulletheaven, and I kind of talked about this at the end of the last video, in that you kind of want to lean heavier into the character skills versus other weapons. The reason that I wasn't doing that so much before is because I was under the impressions that items and skills also go to 7 just like the weapons, and so I didn't want to spend all this time like maxing out these skills when I figured I should get more weapons, do more damage. But the thing is that these don't max out at very high levels. The skills only max out at 3, so it's pretty easy to get them done, and they're very important to how the character operates. And so with the skills and with your main weapon maxed out, you can kind of just clear the game with that, and it works. And then from there, you can start working on your individual weapons and your collabs. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus heavier on skills. So Fauna is a more healing-based character. Her first skill here we're going to grab. So when healing, a branch will grow underneath a random nearby target, dealing 200% damage, which is super sweet because obviously here with our starting weapon, it's going to be kind of a difficult one to work with. Once we get it leveled up though, we'll get additional projectiles. Let's see, sapling. Defeated targets have a 5% chance to drop saplings. A sapling heals 3% and increases Fauna's attack and speed by 30% for 15 seconds. Holy, that's a long buff. Okay, so we're going to take that, obviously, because that's a heal, and a heal means more damage because, you know, we get to shoot these things out more. Increase damage by 20% and increase hit limit by 5, or we can get more saplings. Let's go ahead and get the saplings. Although again, I do kind of want to rush. See, so here's more saplings. We do that, boom, we get a little tree. And actually, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to turn up the attack opacity. I had this turned way down because when I was playing last night, I just had so much going on. That's a weird place to put the resume button. I feel like that should be at the very top of the menu. But anyway, I had so much going on screen. It was just like I had like three collabs and they were just exploding everywhere, and I had to turn it way down. Helped a lot though. Okay, so I'm going to start getting my nature shield. I want to get my nature shield to 3. I've noticed that with weapons, there's kind of different there's like a break point at 3, where that's kind of like the first big upgrade you want to get to. Wait, is it 3? Maybe it's 5. I think 3, like 3, 5, and 7, right? All of the odd numbers are kind of like the breakpoints where you get a pretty juicy upgrade. The rest are kind of just like small upgrades, whether they be like damage or something like that. Now the damage isn't juicy, but you know what I mean. It changes the game a little bit. Now we could take just bandage, right? Because it does heal, which I think I actually am going to take over guardian tree. Not necessarily going to level it up. I'm not going to focus on that, but since we got it offered to us, I think that's a reasonable take. Obviously, because with Fauna, it seems like more of her damage is going to come from these growing trees. Okay, Whisperer. Every 10 seconds, we gain 1 Whisper. Max of 3. Oh, I forgot to mention her alt. We'll take a look at that in a second. Each stack heals 2%. Wait, every 10 seconds, gain 1 Whisper. Max of 3. Okay. Each stack heals 2 HP every 2 seconds. On taking the next hit, consume 1 Whisper to negate the attack. That seems really good. So let's go to our character here. We'll go to... So under skills are Mother Nature. So summon a giant tree that creates a healing zone. In this zone, she gains 10 seconds of invincibility. So that seems pretty good, right? Invincibility, pretty good, but also the fact that it heals us, which means that that's also going to summon the roots and ultimately is just more damage. Let's see. So here, yeah, we're just going to take the nature shield. Okay, so it's actually level 4 for her that she gets her nice boost. Yeah, so now we have the 5 leaves here, which is going to help us just hit things a little bit more consistently. I'm actually really glad. Let's see, let's just take sapling 3. I think that it's really nice the fact that there are some characters that you don't really need to aim. All the characters that we've played so far, I've had to turn on manual aim and actually play. And I think it's a nice change of pace, and I actually do appreciate the fact that there are some characters that you do need to aim and some you don't. I suppose when we get other weapons, there might be needs to aim. But it's one of those things where there were a couple times while I was grinding for coins last night that, do I want any of these? I think I'm gonna get rid of the membership. I don't think we're going for that. I'm just gonna reroll. And then we'll take Whisperer. And so because these skills are so low level, we can kind of get them out of the pool early. I don't think that I'm going to be using my special all that often, so I'm not going to take the Devil Hat. And so a lot of times when I'm grinding, you know, I'll usually put on like YouTube videos. Recently, I've been watching a lot of like movie reactions. And so a lot of them are like movies that I've seen before, so I can kind of not pay attention to the movie itself and just kind of have, you know, it's more so just like background noise. And it's like even more so background noise because I actually have to focus on like where I'm aiming. Shoot 2 additional leaves and aim towards targets. So now our weapon is actually just like really good. Now we just have Razor Leaf. All right, we'll take out the healer here. Or try to. We don't really have any manual control with Fauna here, it seems. Everything's just kind of random. So again, this is more so like a true bullet heaven, right? The other characters are a little bit... Ooh. This seems really... Wait, isn't this really good on Fauna? Lose 5% HP every second until 1 HP remains, but gain 40% attack. Isn't this really good? Dealing 250% damage. Okay, so I guess one thing I haven't looked into is what is this 250 damage scaling off of? Because our attack is 107%. So this has also got to be scaling off something. So I guess what I'm asking here is, does the injection type Asakoko scale Guardian Tree, or are these two stats separate from each other? Either way, I think that this is good enough. I think it's going to increase the power of our leaves, and we have so many ways to heal ourselves that I think it's got to be good. It's got to be. I imagine if it's going to be good on any character, it has to be good on the healing character. Now, another thing that you guys have been mentioning a lot that I haven't done yet, I have not looked into the housing system. The housing system is coming. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Every time I look into it, I feel like I need some sort of like, I need some capital in holocoins, and I just don't have a lot of capital yet. So we're kind of building our way up to that. So this is just more attack power. Let's go ahead and increase our max HP. Bigger HP pool, more health we can, you know, we can hold on to as a buffer. Which is, okay, we're going to be greedy. Yep. Okay, so like here, if I pop my ult, I mean, we just make a massive tree. We get invulnerable. We get to heal like crazy. Every heal we do is an attack with a tree root. Yeah, that's super cool. Just visually, that's really cool. Putting just a giant tree on the field. That's another thing. I think this game has done really well. We're going to take the last whisper. So this brings us up to a maximum of 5 that we can hold on to. This game does like visual effects really well. I will say that the screen does get a bit cluttered when you have a lot going on, because a lot of the collabs especially are pretty flashy. Okay, let's keep getting Guardian Tree. We definitely want to get up, and I've kind of been neglecting that one. They are pretty flashy. Again, you can turn down the spell opacity, which I've been kind of against doing. Ooh, do I want Lava Bucket? I think at this point I can start taking weapons. I didn't have a plan. As far as what weapons I was taking, I didn't really have a plan of what I was taking, and I don't know if there's necessarily some weapons that are better than others. Right now, that's kind of where I'm at with the learning curve, is like... So I know at this point, because you guys have been, like I said, very vocal about telling me to focus more on character skills. I know that I should be taking those much earlier on and more consistently, finishing those off, which is what we did. I think I only have one more level, right? Just the Guardian Tree. So I'm going to take Spider Cooking. First of all, you have the damage increase. This also has the damage increase, but then we can go ahead and collab these up. So that's what we'll work on first. And so from what I understand, this is kind of the pattern that I should be doing moving forward, I believe, from what I understand. So basically, focus on your character skills, get your main weapon leveled up to max, then start working on a collab. So I have 2 weapons that work fairly well together. I mean, they collab together, right? Who cares if they work well together? Let's get the last level of Guardian Tree. And then we can start pumping levels into these, get a collab. And then after that, you work on 2 more weapons, get another collab, so on, so forth. Rather than kind of splitting your attention and not getting the collabs. Because otherwise, you're just kind of slowly leveling up each weapon individually. And that's just kind of one of those things where it feels different than other bullet heavens I've played, where, again, it's something that we kind of talked about at the end of the video with Iris, in that it feels a little bit... For every 6 total... Actually, we could probably just go with Picky. Right? More HP. We already have a big health pool. That's just going to increase the damage. Well, it's only increasing the damage of our main weapon. Oh, that was another thing that you guys mentioned. Yes, I understand now that the stickers only work for main weapon. So anything that was like projectile based obviously wasn't working with Crony from a few episodes back. But yeah, discussing individual characters, right? The character, so in other bullet heavens, you think like, okay, you grab a character, they have a few different stats than the other characters, but really the differentiation comes with like the weapons, but everyone can run the same weapons, so there's kind of not too much uniqueness to all the different characters. But in this game's case, really your main strategy is tied to your character skills and their weapon. Which is a very different feeling than I've had from other bullet heavens. So that was kind of a, oh, nice. Hey, increased crit chance. We'll take that. I actually didn't even see that. And so that's been a very different experience, but a welcome one. You know, it's different than a lot of other games where, like I said, you know, you play a bullet heaven and it's like, all right, well, you have like an extra 10% cooldown, but you have an extra 10% damage to projectiles, so I guess you're the projectile character, but ultimately they don't feel that different. But with these skills, we can play very differently. So, you know, here we're playing more collect the saplings, because really the saplings are what are, I mean, obviously we're doing healing to ourselves as well, but really like the saplings, well, let me correct myself here. It's not the saplings that are doing the damage, but it is the saplings. Hey, look at that. Like I said, I was hoping we got 2, and we did get 2. Increase HP by 2. It is the saplings that is triggering the guardian roots. Guardian roots, I think that's what it's called. To trigger dealing the damage. So ultimately, the saplings are kind of doing damage. They're at least leading to damage. But in terms of, oh wait, can I actually, oh man, I can't even get that one. In terms of feel, Fauna so far feels, Fauna feels the most traditional bullet heaveny. And that's mostly because I don't have to aim with her, which is super nice. Okay, let's just tree up. Let's just get more healing. Yeah, we'll just get elite our buckets to max. Do we just want to go with Researcher's Coat? Actually, no. This is probably pretty bad. Right, because with this, we're taking damage. Okay, I correct myself. Let's go for the... Let's grab Whammy Water. I like having the pushback. Nice. We can take this for now. It's an additional 10% damage. Spider cooking, 3 more levels. Yeah, Fauna feels strong. Like, maybe I've just over progressed past this point, which is maybe possible. All right, duck time. But I feel like I'm getting trapped less often than with Iris. It could also be because Iris had lower like she was doing more hits, but she was doing less damage each time. Like that could have been a thing. I'm invulnerable, dick. Dick duck. But like I haven't felt the need to dash at all. Hey, we'll dash. I should probably check if there is a way to let's see, settings, keybinds. Can I switch that? Because I don't need confirm there. Oh, can I? Yeah, so okay, so there's no key swapping. Wait, set all. Why is this locked up? Why did my game lock up? Okay, so I think we're all set there. That was a very strange experience, changing keybinds. I'm going to skip forward there because I actually ended up literally stopping my recording while I was recording. So some of the keybinds seem like they're locked. So I can do a set all. I can't. It doesn't look like I can set keybinds individually. But I have to do a set all and set them all together. But when I tried to swap like the special or my support onto space, it didn't let me, but I could put support on control and shift. That's very strange. I'm not sure why that's the case. Okay, so let's just go picky. Because if my support is just going to be dash, I would like that to be on space. Let's see. One additional shot to range multi-shot weapons. Okay, so like this does affect us. So like we'll swap this. And then we can strengthen. Yeah, see, now we're shooting out more leaves. Okay. Get our golden, combine these. And we got 30 extra damage on that weapon, which is nice. We already killed the healer. We don't even have to be on screen with these guys. We just pick up saplings and they explode. We don't really have a lot of crit rate, so we could actually take Gorilla's Paw. I feel like that's a decent option. Our roots and branches just hit really hard, and so we can just multiply that even more. Again, I guess that's just the thing I'm confused by. I'm not sure what our base damage is coming off of. Right? Because I just see this plus 147%, and I'm wondering what this is scaling from. So, like, if we see here, like, attack damage is multiplied by 1.3 times, is that multiplying this by 1.3, or is there a base value, then getting multiplied, and then that final value is getting multiplied by 1.3? I'm sure this info is probably all available on the wiki. This is just something that I'm thinking about now. I haven't thought about before until then, so I'm kind of just vocalizing my thoughts. Man, 60% attack and all it costs us is 5% HP. Yeah, I think I was right in my assumption that that would be a very good item on Fauna. So what do we want to do with whammy water? Does Psycho Axe do anything with whammy water? No. So as of so far, what I have unlocked, I could either go book or glow stick. That doesn't mean I can't still get Psycho Axe, but I think that I would rather just get the multiplier. I'm assuming that the multiplier is better than the 20% extra attack. Okay. Yeah, let's keep going with the damage. I think what's interesting too, so I was checking out the wiki to kind of learn some more about, you know, everything about this game. And in the trivia, I think it's interesting because, you know, one of the things you guys have been really great with is kind of like, oh, do we want the body pillow? Body pillow might be interesting since we're losing HP. Helps prevent some damage. And so when we level up, what was it? It was sapling, right? Eventually, if saplings are on the ground for longer than 10 seconds, the saplings will start pulling in towards Fauna. And the reason for that, again, it's funny that literally everything, I think that the developers have done a fantastic job at taking, turning lore reasons into actual game mechanics, right? And that might be a weird way to phrase that. But basically, so my understanding is that the reason that the saplings get pulled in is because saplings are Fauna's fans, and they get separation anxiety if she doesn't stream for too long. So the reason they get pulled in is, you know, because if you wait 10 seconds, they get separation anxiety and then they get closer to you. So I think it's really cool that the developers have thought about, like, taking literally every part of these fandoms and turn them into game mechanics that actually make sense. It's like a, I guess it's maybe not translation. I'm not sure what the word is that I'm necessarily going for. Reduce the time between attacks. Yeah, I think at this point, this is getting outscaled by our other damage, so we'll go ahead and strengthen this up. And so now we can start scaling our attack speed. Right? Like, it's one thing to take, like, a reference for a character, right, and turn it into an enemy. Or to take, like, you know, Callie's deadbeats, right, and turn it into a skeleton. Like, you're literally just taking what it is and putting it in the game. But it's another thing to take, like, a concept and then say, okay, this is a concept that this fandom does. They, you know, they get separation anxiety, and when she doesn't stream for a couple days, they're like, where is she? Where's my stream? Where's my stream? And then, you know, like, turning it into an actual game mechanic. I think that takes a lot of skill and a lot of creativity, and, you know, the more that I play and the more that I learn about this game from you guys, the more I'm just kind of, like, very impressed by everything that's going on in this game. You know, when we started it a couple episodes ago, and I'm gonna hit this, you know, a couple different times here because I think it's pretty important. You know, when I heard about the game, I kind of wrote it off as like, it's just a fan game. Like, it's got anime girls in it. It's not gonna be good. And then, like, basically, if you have this exact same game, but instead of anime girls, you put, like, fantasy characters, you put, like, wizards and necromancers, and you put warriors and all that, you wouldn't even think twice about playing this. You'd be like, oh yeah, we're playing that one, and it would just be like, yeah, it's just a good game. It's like, why would we not play this? But it's literally just because it's why with game development it's very important to nail the correct style, because if you don't nail the correct style for your game, man, you can lose just a lot of your customer base just off the fact that your game doesn't look correct. that being said, now my YouTube feed is full of Vtubers and Hololive and other people playing this game. I think like the YouTube algorithm most times is pretty good, and if not even sometimes it's scary good. Like you know, it's like the meme that like your computer is always listening to you. Which no, don't do that. I wanted to strengthen. Yeah, like your phone is always listening to you. That's why you can do the voice activation, because if it wasn't always listening to you, you couldn't do that. But like half the time, like I'll be talking with a coworker about something, and then like 20 minutes later, pull out my phone, check to go on YouTube, and it's like, hey, we heard, like, here's some recommended stuff about what you were just talking about. And it's like, bro, that's kind of terrifying. Don't do that. Okay, we need some saplings. We're losing some HP here. We need to pick up some more saplings. Okay, saplings, where be you? I'm losing a lot of HP. All right, let's tree up. Let's tree up. Definitely not hope soda. Nope, we gotta get glow stick to max. Then we can get our other collab. But so now, you know, you look up one video about Holocure and it's like, oh, we heard you play Holocure. Here's, you know, 10 different videos on the subject. Which can just screw up like your whole YouTube recommended page. Like, it's just like you look up one thing and it's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna recommend you everything about this one topic that you looked up one time. Okay. I think I'm just gonna take the body pillow, because at this point my health pool is actually getting a little risky. Okay, that's fine. We'll take that. Well, that was crap. That was crap. Well, that means we get to do another run. Yeah. So basically we lost to this thing. If I didn't have this, we would have been fine. If I didn't have the stupid thing that I said would be good on Fauna, we would have been fine. But I went and got greedy. I think maybe taking the maybe taking the body pillow wasn't the correct play. Maybe I should have looked for the food drop, since that would also, like, that would obviously heal us up, but it would also trigger our root. That might have been a better play, and just passed up on the body pillow. But other than that, like, the build felt good. I think it was just one or two small decisions that lost us that run. Do I want this? I don't think I want the special cooldown. We're not really popping it all that often. Oh, maybe I should have grabbed the nurse horn while I had that available to me. Because, again, my thought process is not that we necessarily need the healing, right? Like, I think here I'm going to take Uber Sheep. Again, and it's not because, like, I need the survivability. I think that if we just don't... I think if we don't take the syringe, which I think is... I still think it's a good pickup for Fauna. I think that one or two of the other items that I took maybe just weren't on theme enough. Yeah, so I don't necessarily think that we need to do it for the survivability. Yeah, see, like, I think we go Nurse's Horn, because there's a chance, because, again, there's a basically a 30% chance that we do 300% damage. And that's kind of what it's all about, right? Not necessarily about the healing, just about shooting out these spikes out of the ground. Because we got plenty of tools to stay alive. Right? Like, we can even just pop this and just heal over time and just keep spamming roots. I think what I need to think about, though, is when do I want to use our special for offense versus for defense? Well, this is going away because there's no way I'm listening to that forever. I will say, though, I'm not a big fan of the aesthetic or, I guess, oral stamps. The one that just like change the color of your weapon. I think those are kind of a waste. And it's kind of one of those things where in most games, like, there's going to be those relics or weapons that are just like absolute, just like F tier. But it's fine. They still do something. In this game, they just don't do anything, which is kind of bad. I feel like even if something's bad, it should still do something. See, like there, I figured it was reasonable to use that as a defensive. And now we're kind of using it offensively. Okay, let's keep working on getting our Razor Leaf up. We got there. Ooh, weapon damage. Okay, we'll take that. At some point. Like right now. Okay. Need your shield. Nothing else is really exciting there. You gonna give me my Ascension? Or Awakened, excuse me. But yes, now we do have our Razor Leaf. So do I want to go with Lava Bucket again? I think we could potentially go with Axes. What can I combine with Axes? We could do Axes and Book. That actually seems like a reasonable option. Do not want to go with Axes and Idol, since it's more of a crit weapon. Or actually, Axes and Lava. Okay, yeah, we're going to pick up the Axe. Oh, maybe. Oh, well, I didn't have the options to do so, but I think a good option for Fauna would actually be going... Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to level the axe until we get Curse and Spider Cooking. Because then we get the... It's like an Eldritch thingy-bobber. I don't know. It's like a big old area of effect that sits in the ground and deals damage, but it also has lifesteal. So that'll be more healing for more damage. So I think I'm just going to focus on the axe until those pop up. If they don't, we get the axe to level 7, and then we can focus on a different weapon. There's a Spider Cooking. Okay, so like here, I'm going to use this offensively. Since we're in a pretty good spot. And there's Curse. Hey, number 3. Nice. That's way more than I expected to get today. Okay, easy enough. Easy enough. We just take out those healers. Oh, we got a big boy. All right, let's take out the big boy. We'll go a little bit offensive here. Oh, something that this is always interesting to me. Maybe it's because it's easier to relegate this as like why would you even say that as the person who is receiving these words from someone else. But a friend of mine for my birthday got me a shirt that said, hang on, I actually got to read it. It says, "I paused my game to be here." And I put it on just because, you know, it's a Saturday and it's not like a shirt I'm going to wear to work or anything like that. So I just put it on, you know, it's a comfortable shirt. I just need something because the rest of my clothes are in the wash. But anyway, so I ordered some pizza for lunch, got it DoorDash, and because I'm lazy, or actually just got it delivered. Thank you, Domino's. And so the guy comes to the door, and before he's like working on handing me my pizza, but then he sees my shirt and he like pauses pulling out the pizza. I was like, okay, dude, I'm like, it's cold out here. It's snowing. Let's hurry up here. And he's reading my shirt. He's like, oh, that's an awesome shirt. Are you a gamer? and like, I looked down at my shirt again, and I was like, I paused my game to be here. I was like, nah, it's like, nah, I'm just wearing the shirt. Like, dude, like, of course. Like, what do you think? I'm just wearing the shirt? I guess that's possible that you would just be like wearing a shirt that says that. But I don't know. I guess he was just making small talk, but at the same time, it's maybe it's just because I'm a super introverted person. Tell me if you guys are like this as well. But like, one of my big pet peeves that I have is like when I go to the grocery store and I'm getting checked out, and the cashier decides to like spark up a conversation about my groceries. You know, there was a lady one time where she was like, I was buying a box of cheese, like I had a bunch of other stuff, but I had a box of Cheez-Its, and she just goes, oh, there's new buffalo flavored Cheez-Its. And for me, I'm also a very like literal person. I'm a quite surprisingly quite an analytical person as well. And so for me, my thought process was like, how am I supposed to respond to this? There was no question. Like, she didn't ask me a question. I didn't buy buffalo Cheez-Its, so clearly I didn't want them. I just didn't understand what she was hoping for a response. And I just kind of like looked at her, and then she just kind of like gave a face to my friend who I was with. A face that said like, oh, I guess he's not gonna talk to me, huh? And it's like, no, I'm trying to check out here. You're trying to have a conversation with me, which is slowing down you checking out my groceries for a conversation that I don't think either one of us want to have. Like, even worse than that, I had another lady who was checking out my groceries, and she was like, ugh, I don't like these. And I was like, bitch, I don't care if you don't like them, I do. What the fuck? What do you mean? Like, how, I don't know. I think that's incredibly rude. I'm trying to think of what it even was. It was probably just like I had bought sushi or something. Okay, we can get rid of this. I don't need to see this. Let's just re-roll this. Do I have... Okay, so I do have both those. And I'm not crazy, right? That's the combination I need? Okay, yeah, that is the combination I need. I just haven't gotten the thing yet. So then we'll just keep... I probably shouldn't have re-rolled then, because I am just going to get the axe. I thought I was still one short there on the on getting both those to 7. But, you know, it's just in those situations, I think what it ultimately comes down to is I think people are uncomfortable with silence, and I, as a very introverted person, I'm typically very quiet, which I know is probably going to surprise a lot of you, because I read all the comments, and I've seen many comments of people I'm assuming they're probably people who like are not subscribed, and they just see like a video in their recommendeds, and they come in, but they're like, you talk too much. And it's like, yeah, tell that to people in my real life where they say I don't talk enough. But I'm not uncomfortable when it comes to silence. Like, I can be in a room with multiple people and not be uncomfortable if nobody is talking. What was I combining this with? Oh, right. Either lava pool or books. I'm just not uncomfortable like that. So when someone, you know, is like checking out my groceries, I don't need them to spark up a conversation with me. It's like, I would actually prefer you don't, so that way you can work faster. Because unfortunately, where I go to get groceries, it's not necessarily the people scanning groceries that are slow. It's always the people bagging. They're just so slow. I don't understand it. And they put everything in, like... You know, all these corporations have their, you know, they have their, you gotta pay 5 cents for a bag, but we're gonna sell you bread in a bag, we're gonna sell you plastic utensils inside of a bag, we're gonna give you plastic bags to put your vegetables in, But God forbid we give you a plastic bag to carry out your plastic bagged groceries, because that we're going to charge you for. But then they put like 2 items in a bag and then they move on to the next one. It's like, no, pack that shit full. Like, I'm going to carry these. I don't need 10 different bags to carry. Put it all in 3 bags. It'll be fine. And this is, of course, all just first world problems. Are they actual problems? No. They're just like, I don't know, funny observations that I make from day to day that it's just like, why? Why are you doing these things? So I guess we're going book, because we're not getting the fire, so that's fine. We already got our horror, and let me just confirm here. Unhards may lifesteal up to 5, yeah. So we can get some healing off of that. Which I would assume triggers Fauna's roots. If it doesn't, then that does not work how I would think it would. Well then. That's a lot of explosions. Oh, another weird one. Okay, so I don't know if this is just this one Starbucks. I don't get anything from Starbucks, but the friend that I work with, she does. So, like, if I go out and like, get lunch or whatever, you know, she'll want a Starbucks. We went to this one Starbucks, and maybe this is a thing in the coffee world. This blew my mind. I had no idea what this guy was asking. What do I want here? I think I just want Just Bandage. So she always orders a medium or a grande, which I think is stupid sizing. But anyway, grande hot cappuccino. Even when it's like 90 degrees in the summer, she gets a hot cappuccino. And this guy asked, do you want your cappuccino dry or wet? Bro, it's a drink. What do you mean, do you want a dry drink? What does that even mean? Like, I think I understand it when it comes to alcohol, because, like, I don't drink. But isn't it, like if you order a dry, you can order, like, a dry... I don't know, you can order something dry, and I think that just means, like, you put gin in it? I think? But, like, he asked it, and I didn't even think about that at the time, but he just asked that, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Do you want a dry or a wet drink? But we have all kinds of those. I have the coworker. I think I've mentioned him before on the channel, but not a big fan of him. He's kind of an idiot. He's young. He's a kid. I mean, young. He's like 3 years younger than me. He's not a kid. He acts like it. But oh god, we were talking about he was going to, for those of you guys who don't know, I work at a TV station, and so he does like he works with more like the news side. I work more with the commercial, doing commercial side, and he had to go to, in the past I've had to go to this event, but it's a snowmobile, or not a snowmobile event, it's an ice fishing derby. And at this ice fishing derby, there's a polar dip. And for those of you guys who don't know what a polar dip is, it's literally where you go swimming. Basically, it's like when it's cold enough that you have a layer of ice that you can like fish in. People go, actually, there doesn't even have to be ice. It's just swimming in like freezing cold water. The important thing to note here, though, is that I don't know if you guys know this, but scientifically, water freezes at 32 degrees. If water enters a state below 32 degrees, it turns into another state of matter. It turns into ice. And this is where he gets to be kind of a child. He kind of complains about some silly, stupid things. And I forget exactly what the context was, but he was just like, oh, I can't do a polar dip. I can't swim in like 20-degree water. And we all looked around and we were like, dude, are you serious? Like, what do you mean? Nobody can swim in 20-degree water. That's called ice. He's just like, oh, yeah. Like, oh god, use your thinking cap. Use that thinking cap. Do I want this, or do I just want... I think I just want to level this up. Actually, no. I should level this up. Yeah, this gives me more... This gives me 10%, versus this only gives me 5%. Do I want to take the glow sticks? I don't think I'll get to this point, but does music and glow sticks make anything? I don't know if it does. But I feel like I'm at a point that I should probably just take another weapon. I'm not getting a whole lot of saplings anymore, and so my damage is kind of fallen flat. I'm noticing that not a lot is dying as much as it was before. And I'm losing a lot of my protective whispers. That was my bad. I didn't even see that cat. He blended in with the background. Okay, let's pop this so we're safe until the boss shows up. And now we have our friend, the eight-legged cat. Let's just wait out here. We can kind of take this time to build up some whispers, too. Unless I keep getting hit by... Never mind. I keep getting hit by the projectiles over and under compensating. Okay, I'm just going to sell this for some extra coinage. Oh, hey, we got another one. Did we get that from the boss? Oh, so maybe I have to go back and beat the other bosses again? Okay, I should probably check that out. But there we go, stage complete. We got very close there. I think we could have done it with the first run. Again, I think I just had, it was one of the two. I think either getting the body pillow or the injector was wrong. Again, I think taking the injector, I think it's still good on Fauna. I think that I probably just needed one more healing relic. Or if I took the body pillow, then losing the injector relic. But since I took the injector first, probably should have not taken the body pillow and instead gone with the sheep for more healing. But yeah, other than that, that was the Fauna run. I think Fauna's great. I really like her playstyle of just having like big damage tied to healing. It's one of those things that actually Final Fantasy XIV completely changed my idea of what a healer should be. In every other game that I've typically have played, healers are always just strictly healers. And unfortunately, what can happen is, like, if your team that you're healing is good and not taking damage, your healer just kind of isn't really doing anything. Unless you have a more support-based healer that's doing like buffs and all that, like buffs and debuffs. But what Final Fantasy XIV did really well, in my opinion, and not that it's necessarily the first to do it, it's just the first that I was aware of that played healers like this, is that healers were damage dealers. They just weren't like focused DPS characters, but they could actually do they could do enough DPS that it mattered. I'll say it like that. And then when they had to heal, they could pop off DPS, heal up their teammates, and then when their teammates no longer needed healing, they could jump back on and do DPS. And Fauna almost feels a little bit more like a tank than she does like a healer. But I don't know. I really enjoyed her playstyle. I thought she was really fun. Guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for hanging out and checking out this one of Holocure, Save the Fans. If you did enjoy the content and you liked hanging out with me today, would you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more roguelite action. I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.